check. How's everyone doing? Good morning. So, fingers crossed we have everything should be smooth today. I have the CPU overclocked. We'll see how it goes. I have yet to hear back from him today. But I did post the computer that I'm hoping to look at either today or tomorrow. The guy lives roughly about 2 hours outside of my house, or from my house, so it's going to be a bit of a drive. Log in here real quick. I had to, so I deleted all my history and like all the cached information to release some of my memory on the computer. Just turned down on my end. So, but hopefully you guys are having a good morning. Looks like Bitcoin's dipping a little bit, but there's honestly no need to panic. It's just some profit taking. I mean, we're up roughly, we're still really up $600–700, than we were just, maybe 3 days ago. All right. Wait for some people to pile in. Man, this thing must have deleted all my indicators. I guess we really don't need indicators on this one. It's just our Bybit account. Let's get trading view, make sure we're good. Give maybe another minute or two for people to pile in. So we're going to start off like we do on every stream. We're going to identify our trading environment. And we're going to look at... before my computer crapped out last night, there was a pretty decent discrepancy between the blue wave market cipher and MACD, so we're going to look at that. So, I guess it's kind of still morning my time, but, thank you, TubeJu2, TBJ, or JBU2, Jesper, how you doing? So what we're gonna do is like you should do before you ever start a trade, you need to identify the environment that you're trading in. So this is what we were looking at last night before my computer crapped out. You can see we did show a lower level of bearish momentum from our bigger wave over here. And if you look on your bull side, I don't want to call this rounded off yet because you can still see we're pointed to the sky. But if we form anything that's, that's lower than this, so if we go up and form something like this or like this, you get the point. You would be able to take your trend line and you would actually be showing a bearish divergence. So we're going to be watching the daily. It's going to take some time for the daily to move. It takes more information. So if we look at our 4 hour, which is what I highly recommend. Hey, how you doing, Tom Brady? AgroCap, how you guys doing? You can see here though on our regular MACD, we did make a slightly higher high over here, but you can see we're down and it looks like we're about right here. So it's going to be interesting to see what we do. Are we going to come over here and pop up, go to our, the next high, or are we going to go basically finish this off all the way down and we'll form some level of bearish momentum? I'm not really overly bearish right now. It's gonna take some time for these patterns to see who's gonna be pushing this wave. Who's gonna take control of this market. The bears have been in control for the last 2 weeks, and the bulls have kind of taken the show back the last few days. So if we look at our MACD, so just to give you guys, this is our 3 hour. We looked at the daily, we've looked at the 4 hour. If you're going to use the lower time frames to scalp trade, you have to do this. If you skip identifying your environment, you're rolling the dice. You can see here, we're starting to pop some bearish momentum here, but it's still growing. So let's see what it goes, or how far it goes. I mean, because honestly, this could be very nice for the bulls. Even if the bears start piling in short, we have a lower level of bearish momentum, and we can show some type of bullish divergence. Man, I had a dog hair. I had to brush my dog last night. I gave him a bath because he's fighting a yeast infection really bad. And I just had, ever since I gave him this bath yesterday, my nose, my eyes, it sucks. So let's go to our 1 hour. All right. So we've made a little bit of a higher high over here. You can see that it's higher than this, and it's obviously higher than our prior wave. But overall, you can even go back to our dip on the 30th. We still are making a lower low. So we have some things to watch for. So we're definitely still bullish, but it kind of looks like, we're still in a bullish pattern for now. I know we've had a little bit of a pump. The bears they're trying, and this doesn't have to be just the bears. It's honestly, guys, probably people taking profit, which we're going to go look at the long and short chart. Yeah, Mark Taylor. Yeah, that's what we're about to look at. The TV JVU too. I don't. It doesn't really have anything to do with market analysis. But you can see here, your 45-minute. They're still showing lower levels of momentum here on the bear side. So it's really, we're gonna look at the long and short chart. We're gonna see what this bearish momentum is coming from. Is it shorts piling in? Is it longs taking profit? Is it both? But you can see here, it's actually not looking too bad here. It actually looks like, especially here on the 30-minute and the 45-minute, this looks really nice. But to answer your question about the market cipher and your regular MACD, let's get rid of this. I'll show you this. I really wanted to show you guys last night, but computer just kind of crapped out before I could even get to it. So if we pull up market cipher B, so let's go to our daily. You can see here, this is what I was talking about last night. Do you see how you were showing a much, like the bearish momentum was building here on the daily? This doesn't make sense that we bounced. But if we go to the same daily on your MACD, you see the difference? You actually see a bullish divergence right here. So it's very interesting how much different the MACD is from your blue wave. So it's something we're going to keep an eye on, but I'm going to be watching the MACD a little bit more closely, because I've never actually seen this big of a discrepancy between market cipher, the blue wave, and your regular MACD. So this is very interesting though. You can see here how you had a divergence here on your daily, but your actual blue wave market cipher B is definitely, it really did not call this bottom. So this is pretty interesting to watch how big of a difference they are. I mean, here even on the 1 hour, it just, I don't know, something just looks completely different here. Like if we go to the 1 hour on market cipher, You can see here how we have this coming out right there. Let's go to our regular MACD. 1 hour, 30 minute. Let's see if we can find any other discrepancies. Let's go to our 30 minute. I mean, do you guys see this? This is weird. I've literally never seen this big of a difference. See, over here you see the bearish momentum definitely building. But if you go over to your MACD, your regular standard MACD, do you see how much better this looks? Hey, 1Qubit. Well, I mean, technically, guys, I'm not trying to say it was wrong, but this wasn't an indication to long at the bottom. I mean, you can see here, there was nothing. There was no bullish divergence. There was nothing. You were showing higher waves of bearish momentum. This would not have been an indicator to long in the 9,000s. But if you looked at your MACD, which is, it's really interesting, you can see this definitely was a buy signal. This most definitely was a buy signal on the daily, and they're complete opposites. If you look at this, we were building something like this. That's what Market Cipher looked like. Something similar to this. Interesting. This is the first time I've seen this big of a discrepancy, so we're going to keep a close eye on them both. And that's why I really try to teach you guys, traditional technical analysis with your MACD. We'll look at the RSI, we'll look at the long and shorts pattern, we'll do the Fibonacci retracement. But very interesting. Hey, you've been looking at the MACD yourself? Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know. Honestly, here coming up, I'm probably going to be relying more on my traditional indicators with the aggro cap, because honestly, aggro cap's just been nailing the calls, the scalps. And I have a full video. So the second part of that video is coming out today. So be on the lookout. We're going to probably stream here for about 2 hours. We're going to look at the markets. We'll look at your coins. We'll have our extended stream like we do at nighttime. Especially now that the computer's running good. But I have that a full static video coming out today, tutorial over the V1 5-minute and the V2 1-minute. They're basically our scalpers, so I'm going to combine them in one video. The reason I didn't combine all the aggro cap videos together was because if you're trying to learn, and let's say you figured one out, but you're trying to get to the second part of the video, I didn't want there just to be an 1.5 hour long tutorial video and you're trying to guess and to sift through all the information. So it's much easier to separate them. The V1 3 hour is much more for the bigger $300-400 jumps or dumps. And the scalpers are obviously $50 to $80 swings back and forth all day long. So I just wanted to separate those out. It saves you guys time and it just makes the information easier to find. Hey, 1Qubit, yeah, have a good night. I know we were talking about sports betting on TronBet. Did you hear that FanDuel now you can deposit Bitcoin or Bitcoin Cash and you can now gamble? See, I've never actually played with FanDuel. I don't know if I think it's like a fantasy league. But I woke up this morning and I guess FanDuel is now accepting cryptocurrency. That's what we need, guys. We need people to start adopting cryptocurrency. That's the best and easiest way to bring stability to Bitcoin, more money, and honestly, I think it will help the price movement to the upside. Once people start buying it or accepting it and then holding it as a store of value. Alright, so I guess I need to go to my favorites here. Really? They just logged me out. Yeah, the computer's running a lot better. Knock on wood. This overclocking has really helped it out, like especially when I'm not streaming. Like I can click YouTube, it automatically pops up YouTube and the song literally within like half a second. It's really quick. Alright, so on our 3-hour long call, we popped it at about 9,750, but we didn't actually confirm it until this red line, and we closed a 3-hour above it, which is about 9,825, 830. So we're still holding our long call. 2 massive moves in a row. You called this a great short up here, another great long, but to flip this, we will need to confirm just about $10,000. So we'll have to, Bitcoin's really going to need some selling pressure if we're going to flip this back to a short. It actually reminds me, guys. So for our stream tonight, we are going to have TradingView, the Pro. So I moved some funds over. You know, the way I save money is I don't hold a lot in my actual like bank account, so I don't end up spending it. It's just a way through the years I've learned to save money. So, but we will have TradingView tonight, so I'm excited for that. So you can see this red line here that we would need to confirm under. It's right here about the top of our box. At about 10,020, and we would need to confirm 3 hours under it before we would officially flip to a short. Just massive calls. I really like this 3 hour. Let's see what our 5 minutes looking like. What do you know? So we popped our short here. You popped it at about 10,530. We didn't confirm it until this green line, which is about 10,520, and it looks like we hit a bottom of 10,370. Granted, chances are you probably weren't. I don't know how long. A lot of times these wicks are uncatchable. That's why I really like to, preach about having your trade plan set up, because you can put like fishing orders basically down here, and you can try to catch these wicks, and you will get filled a lot of the time. So you can see here though, our most latest call, we had our short about 10,520. I mean, you easily went just barely under 10.4, so that's a nice scalp. I don't put too much into the MACD 5 minute, but looking flat. We'll see here. It looks like the bulls could maybe be gaining some strength. I really like this on the, you can see it on the 15 a little bit. You can see it here on the 30 minute. We could be forming some nice bullish divergence in here, so that would be a very good thing for Bitcoin. Especially if you're wanting to get maybe a lower average in buy. This could definitely be our opportunity. Make sure we're good on here. All right. So let's check our long and shorts chart out. Not bad, not bad. So let's get our indicator off. We really don't need that for our long and shorts. get our horizontal tool out. I mean, you can see besides this wick here, I don't see if, yeah, you have a touch point there, you have a touch point here. We're going to keep this line here. You can even see on our latest run up, we went back and tapped it. So I'm going to start incorporating some short, or not short, but support and resistance lines. As it's kind of scary, the correlation of how accurate sometimes it can be. Like even looking at your MACD on here. You can see here on your shorts, or I'm sorry, this is your long chart. If you take your trend line, what do you see here? You see a bullish divergence, and then we had a massive pop to the upside. It's really interesting. I've never thought about using technical analysis with the long and short chart. It's pretty insane. Trying to see if there's any other areas, because the shorts are definitely rising here on Bitcoin. But you know, CryptoFace pointed this out. It's during the first part of the bull run, especially like a 3-4 months ago, the higher the shorts were rising, the more the actual price of Bitcoin was rising. And that would be very interesting if we could restart that trend again. Usually it's supposed to be the opposite. The more the shorts are rising, the more the price goes down, you know, because they're shorting the market. But that's definitely was not like that earlier this year. So we have some stuff to watch for. The long and shorts are definitely rising. I mean, even if we go to our closer time frames. Oh, dang, guys, you see, is that true? Oh, never mind. I looked at the Bitcoin shorts and I saw we were 10,257. I was like, oh, man, we're dumping. But nah, it's not. It just happens to be in the 10,000s here. But if you look at your shorter time frames, though, you can definitely see this is their nice little pop they had earlier this morning. And if we look at our longs real quick, because I don't think we looked at the really shorter time frames, they're looking pretty identical. There's a war going on between long and shorts right now, so it's going to be interesting to see who comes out on top. Alright, so the bulls are still in control, but it definitely looks like here on our shorter time frames, they're trying to take advantage of this dip. It's very possible we could just continue back up. I mean, it's very normal. I mean, guys, what are we up, like $800 the last couple days? $900? It's normal. I mean, we've only lost maybe about $200 of that. I don't really count the extreme high when we were at 10.8. We've really been in that 10.6, 10.7 area. So we're really only down maybe 25-30% of our total pump from the other day. This is completely normal. It's normal to take profit. The key thing is you don't want this to be like a pump and dump. You want the bulls to basically step in on this dip and keep pursuing up. Actually, I don't know if I bumped it. It needs to be touching this touch point down here. There we go. See how, let's just check our touch points. Yeah, it's kind of close. Really, in this area, about $20–$30 higher than it. You know, this 10,400 area, it's going to be an area they're going to try to hold. We'll talk about it more in depth, but you can see all the cluster of touch points. They're right in this little tight area between about, you know, 10,004 and 10,450. I mean, I could honestly draw a box through here, but so let's try, let's go look at our, see if our Fibonacci retracement is going to say anything. So we're going to use a clean canvas, so I'm going to go to a different exchange. Go to our daily. Alright, so, you know, I try to go over this each time I do it, but when you look at your Fibonacci retracement, if you're going to use your wick on the bottom, it has to be verbatim all across the board. You have to do it on the top. If you're just going to do the, you know, the candle close, you got to do that on the both sides. You can't do a wick and a close if you want accurate fibs. Alright. I mean, and if you were wanting, so this is trying to find the trend as a whole. If you were trying to maybe swing trade this, I would look somewhere with the most, you know, the most touch points, and I would honestly put our anchor point somewhere at about 7,500. You can see how we flat bottomed this. And I think we're gonna stick with this more short-term one from now. We're gonna get our scalper mindset on. I don't really see any $2,000 giant moves that we need to be prepared for. Using the exact bottom and the exact high are just kind of good when you're trying to gauge the trend. We obviously know we're still bullish, so I feel more comfortable. You see all these touch points here on our anchor point? You can see it's here is resistance, here is support, another cluster. So I like this a lot. I mean, I guess theoretically I've seen some charts where people are trying to put it at like, you know, 9,100, 9,000, but I feel more comfortable putting it at 75 if you're trying to swing trade and you're going to put your fibs up. You can see here, we are finding resistance at our 0.5 fib here. It's about 10,680, 10,007. But if we're looking at a dip, our more short term, which is our next fib level, is about the 618, which is about 9,930. How can I have TradingView select the trend line? TradingView select the trend line after I used it. What do you mean, Frodo? Are you talking about like clicking it so you can move it? Or how can I have TradingView select the trend line after I used it? But you can see here, this is what we talked about. We did briefly break this, but market makers know you can look at this. That's why I did not enter the big position we were kind of speculating on. The volume kind of fell off. And you can see we had a little bit of a fake out, but look at this. It's the first time we've broken the EMA 100 on the daily since, I mean, really since about March. About the middle of March was the last time you broke it. So very critical. And here's this for you guys. This is actually, I had a Fibonacci tutorial, which I'm going to make another one. But, you know, obviously your 236, it's your most shallow. 382 is your moderate. And then you have your 0.5. This actually needs to be switched. I don't know why they're... It's supposed to be 0.5 first. I don't know why the 618's before it. But your 618 right here, this is your golden retrace. This is like where investors find the most areas of value. And then your 786, which obviously this is your deepest retrace before you get to your anchor point. But you know, just like on your 0.5, generally when you go parabolic, you retrace 50%. So that's why, I mean, that's why every, you know, as Crown calls them the Gap Boys. Everyone's been calling for that gap to fill at 8,500, and each time we start dipping, they're like, oh, we're gonna fill the 0.5, which is right here, right in here. Everybody that's tried calling this dip to to get to our 0.5, our next fib level, they've gotten wrecked each time. The EMA 100 is really, I mean, I know we briefly broke it, but it is critical. I won't feel so confident if we go back down and test this again. If we go back under the EMA 100, I'm very confident it's not going to be a fake out this time. I think we will make a bigger dump. At least more area, you know, more price percentage under the EMA 100 than we already made. So, because you can see here with each dip really, I mean, I guess we've tried making a lower high over here and here, but we've now invalidated it. So now we've actually made a lower low in terms of, you know, our prior dips. I mean, we still haven't surpassed our double low, which is down here. And that's why I was talking to the other day. The warning signs are going to be when 9,080 or 9,100 if they break. Once those break, there's really not even going to be a technical support really until maybe about 8,800. But even then, that support's not the greatest. And once again, you have your 0.5, which pretty much everyone is calling for. So we have something to watch for. But if we go back under the EMA 100, I'm not going to be as confident. Not this time. Make sure we're good on our sound. And so if there's something you guys want to look at, you can let me know. Just figured we'd look at Bitcoin. It's kind of owning the show. Yeah, we're getting some price action now. I figured we'll look at the gold and silver market here in a little bit. We'll take a look at it. So current price is 10,428 on Bybit. And I'm hopeful today, guys. I'm hopeful by tonight my website will be able to launch. I'm doing some last minute touches on it, or touch-ups on it. I'm linking the merch at Bitcoin account to it. But I'm hoping it'll be launched tonight. This is my first website I've really ever built, so I've tried making it good. And I'm also going to send it to Jubbin so he can give his approval on it. I know he's more of the techie guy. You know, he did an amazing job on our new layout for the stream. So, you know, I'm really thankful for that. But it's kind of exciting. I've never built a website before. I've always kind of dinkered around with it or tinkered with it on GoDaddy years back, but man, the CBD coffee is really good. I went to the store yesterday and they had this new blend from Denver, Colorado. But yeah, it's the first CBD coffee. It's like a weird reaction with my kratom. The only thing I don't like about the CBD coffee is I drink coffee in the morning to wake up, and I seem to get this like really chill feeling where I feel like I could just go back to bed and sleep. So I don't know if it'd be an everyday coffee, but I don't know if you guys get that effect from CBD. I just started using CBD lately because it's been helping my knee out, but it's not really worth it if I can't stay awake. I really want to see it though, chat. We're getting close. We're getting ever so close to completing our 4th touch point. We can just come over, graze this line. This looks so good. This would be a nice short, somewhere between about 10.9 and 11.2, about 11,100. I mean, if we're gonna go up and tag this line, we're gonna need to do it very quickly. The longer we take, the lower possibility of what our high will be. So this is gonna get very interesting. But it would be so nice, especially from a bullish perspective. You go up to about 11,000, you cash out, and then you flip to your short before we end up rejecting the line like we have 3 times before. This could be a nice potential short opportunity. It's really between about 10.9 and 11.2. It just depends on when it does it. Like if we wait till the end of the month, we're not even really going to get past 10.8 if we are going to obey this line. If we go within the week, we could potentially hit about, maybe 11.2, maybe 11.3 at the very high, if we're going to obey this, guys. But if we wait till about the 16, Bitcoin doesn't really, we kind of, I want to say like barely go up because we've had such a nice run up. But what I'm getting at is the longer we take to move up, the lower our potential high is going to be. That's about the easiest way to describe what's going to happen if we obey this. It's our downsloping resistance line. Every time we hold it, basically just pushes our head down. Yeah, you need to... Yeah, I'm new to CBD. I've just had everyone recommend it to me, and it's a bag of coffee, and it comes with, I guess every serving has 10 milligrams of CBD in it. But man, I'm telling you, it makes me extremely relaxed, kind of like a melatonin. Like I feel like I could just pass out at any time. I don't know, maybe if it's an interaction with my kratom, I don't know, but yeah, I'm gonna definitely look into a lotion. Even though I have to say, this coffee is pretty good. Well, we were actually just looking at this triangle, like literally just seconds ago. But you can see here, this is what we were just talking about, the top trend line. I mean, theoretically, if I wanted to, I could go over here, and I guess I could possibly put something like this up. See if I can get this a little smaller. There we go. So let's see here, just making sure I got my touch points. It is valid because you have 1, 2, and you have 3 touch points. So that gives me quite a bit of confidence in this. But just so we're not getting confused, I'm going to go ahead and just put this yellow. There's a lot of green and red going on right here, so I'll go over here and I'll turn this to our purple. There you go. So, but no, this is where we're at. This is what I was getting at when I was saying the longer we take to move up, the lower our potential high is going to be. A good way to describe it is we could just continue going up, and we could maybe hit 11.2. But if we sit here and just consolidate and then go up, the chances of our high are going to get lower and lower, if this makes sense. So it's going to be interesting. I'm definitely going to be looking for another short on this next run up. Or if we actually, I say our next run up, our next touch point. This would be very interesting. Why do you think we're in a bearish triangle? I mean, well, this would be a descending triangle eventually, but it's quite obvious. You can see with each touch point on this trend line, we're making a higher low on each one. I mean, it's really clear as day, and we've had this triangle up for well over a month now. I've been speculating on this descending triangle, honestly, for probably about the last 2 months. Since I started streaming, I even have a trading view post. Let's see here. I don't know where I can go to find my ideas. See if I can get a date on it. I don't even really use TradingView much anymore. Like when I go to like post my ideas. All right. I don't know why it's not popping up. I just said it. I don't know. That's why I don't really use TradingView as much anymore. I'm too busy to post these charts, but private chat. My ideas. Here we go. So look at this, guys. July 31st. Oh. So this was July 31st when I posted this. So I guess it's just been over a month. Feels like a long time in cryptocurrency. Encyclopedia charts. Let's get off of this. Alright, so let's get back to our 5-minute. So our 5-minute, we're still holding short from about 10,520. You had roughly about $120 drop. I mean, honestly, a little bit more, but chances are, especially with this wick, I guarantee no one caught it. I mean, unless you had a take profit order down here, I bet it was very, very hard to catch this wick. You can actually see here, though. You look at these two touch points right in here. We do have a double bottom. I mean, it looks pretty nice here, actually, on the 5-minute. See if you can see it. I don't think you'd be able to see it on the 1 hour. Let's see. Alright, yeah, it's not a double bottom, but you can see it on the 5-minute for sure. But you can see our scalping tool, we would still be holding short from about 10,520. So that's our 5-minute for, or to hopefully answer your question. And then here's our 3 hour. Our 3 hour will not flip short until we close under 10,018, 10,015, and it's about right here. If you follow this cursor line, it's right in through here. So our 3 hour, we're still holding long from, we confirmed at about 9,820. If we look at our MACD, this is basically what we're watching for. This thing is still building, so it's definitely not time to jump into a short, or I mean a long, like we're going to make a divergence of some type. This thing's still building, so let's see where it goes. I wouldn't actually mind maybe jumping into a scalp long here if we can get a little bit of a dump here. My goal is in the next 3 days, I'd like to make at least 20% gains of my entire streamer's account. Ugh, neck's killing me. So I'm gonna try to make about 20% at least. My goal is maybe 30, but that's why I posted last night. I'm gonna try to make about 20 to 30% gains of my whole account value in the next, 2-3 days. The problem that I see with this though is we've had such a violent move. Bitcoin could take a day or two of consolidation. So we take our moving averages up. See if we have any kind of crosses coming up. Oh, that's very good. This could be kind of what propels us. So you can see we literally bounced right off of our 13, which is about 10,380. You have your 200. This is on your 4-hour, guys. You have your 200 at literally just under it. It's about 10,300, I guess. But look at this down here. Your 34 and your 100 are about to cross. So seeing that we're above, this could really be a nice little dip if you're trying to get into a scalp long. Maybe if we can go down to, 10,300, we have this cross, because at that rate we'll be sitting right on this purple, and then we can try to ride a pump up to maybe, back to at least 10.4, 10.5. But we have all the combinations now of continuing this bull run. The bulls just have to keep their foot, their foot on the pedal per se. We've looked at the long and short chart. They're pretty much even right now. This is a nice cross here we're about to have, and they're literally just about to converge. I would think they're going to converge by, the next couple hours. I would say 4 hours or less. We're going to find out what this, if anything's going to happen with this. Granted, it's not a major cross like your 13 and your 34, but... And I like how nice of a bounce we got off of our 13 here on the 4-hour. And you can see we have our support line that just happens to be here as well. I think it's on the daily though. No. Is it the 1 hour? Yeah, there you go. So maybe we get a little dip here. I would say there's more risk now in maybe shorting for the simple fact of how well the MACD is looking right now. You can see we're building, obviously our longer time frames are going to be more bullish because we've had such a nice move here. Your 1 hour is the only thing that doesn't look as great. You can kind of see we're pretty much even on our latest wave. But if we start going to our 45-minute, what do you know? We have a nice divergence here, a bullish divergence. Showing it also here on the 30-minute. Much lower wave of bearish momentum. If we just keep going down to our 15, this is probably where our dump came from. But overall, we're still making a lower high than our actual, our anchor point. And you can also see here as well, short term. You can see this right in here. So all the, we have a lot of things in place right now to help us go up. We've had our dip. If you didn't want to chase above 10,006, this probably was a good time. Or where it looks like we could be getting to a good opportunity if you missed out. But we're going to be patient. I'd like to see that 1 hour flip long. And if we look even at our closer 5-minute, this kind of reassures what we're already thinking. Maybe we have a little bit more of a dip here in the real short term, like the next hour or two. But it's looking like the bears could be running out of steam on this dip, and maybe the bulls can come back. I really like how this looks on the 30-minute. Your 40-minute looks good. And it looks like we're actually rounding this off here, so who knows? We'll see. I wish this 1 hour looked a little bit nicer, but maybe if these short time frames can turn more bullish, we'll eventually flip this. How you doing, Armacida? So we have some stuff to watch out for today. Dog's going nuts. Come on. I think our mailman's at our house. Every time they show up, my dogs go ballistic. Good, just had a good workout at the gym. Awesome. Yeah, I want to start going back to the gym. Once I get my meniscus fixed and I can maybe get some of the cartilage issues in my knee done, I'd really like to go back to the gym. It's a nice way to produce natural endorphins. It's healthy for you. But dang, it's to the point my knee's so bad I can barely go shopping and walking around Walmart. It's like with my meniscus, the way it's torn is there's a giant, it's not only torn, but there's like a wrinkle, and it's like there's a rubber band, and every time you can just feel it pulling. But there's like this kink in my meniscus right now, and so I'm working on getting it fixed. I think open enrollment's here in the next month, but it's the thing about living in America. When you don't have insurance, no one really gives you the time of day. And it's my fault. I completely forgot about open enrollment last year. How'd you mess it up? It was actually at the gym. Hey, I appreciate it, DI. But no, the way I screwed up my knee was I had this workout coach. Honestly, this happened. I've honestly had this injury for about 5 years, but it's just gotten progressively much worse. But I was at the gym, and you know that machine where you lay on your stomach and you have your feet laying out like this, and right above your ankles or right at your ankles you have that bar, and you have to lift your legs up like this. They put too much weight on it, and all of a sudden I was lifting and I was pulling it, and all of a sudden pop, 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 and my leg just dropped like dead. Just like, it just like there was no strength in it. The next day I had this huge Baker cyst in the back of my knee, and I still have it. It periodically refills, explodes, refills. It's just, but yeah, it was a injury in the weight room, and I've just kind of neglected it the last couple years because I did the surgery for it. They said I could have this one thing where they go in and scope it, which that's what I'm gonna try first. But I definitely, at the time, I was working at Walmart distribution, like the warehouse. The pay was really good, but I could not afford, years back to take off, 2-3 months from work. Yeah. Yeah, I hope so. Hey, Tobias, I'm glad you like the music. But yeah, I'm excited to get back to the gym. And honestly, I think I'm gonna get another appointment at the orthopedic surgeon before I get surgery, so I can just basically book my actual surgery date, because I know it takes a lot of time to get accepted and to get in. I may go here in the next week or so, because October's coming up, and I'll get that scheduled. So even if there's a 3-month wait time, I'll have insurance by then. It's kind of the thing that sucks about being a full-time trader, there's no insurance packages. Alright, we're gonna check this real quick. I just want to see how we're looking on our the gold position we've been speculating on. Ooh, we're getting close. So current GLD price is $145.98, so almost 146. You can see here on the 1 hour, we're looking really bullish here. Man, showing a nice bullish divergence here on the 4 hour. See what the 1 hour looks like? Yeah, you can see it's kind of like a MACD trigger wave, kind of. I mean, we're still showing a lower high here, but you can see we're kind of curving. Let's see what our next wave shows. But man, the 4 hour looks very nice. You look even better on the daily. You have your high, a lower high, and a lower high. So I want to see how we react when we hit $150. You know, if you've been here for a minute, you know, I was a traditional stock, the stock market trader. I traded your traditional assets, more specifically options trading, since 2014. So this is kind of where I come from, trading your traditional assets. But you can see here, you can see the touch points right through here. This is where we had major support. Each time we had a major dip, we would bounce off of this. But the key thing is here is you don't want to short the moment we hit 150, because if you do catch more buying pressure, I think you're easily going to go back to 155, 160 on gold. So yeah, for sure. $10,420. Yeah. Let's see what the actual spot price is doing, and then we'll get right back to gold. I'm sorry, we'll get right back to cryptocurrency. So current spot price of gold. Ooh, well, look at that. Almost back to 10.5. So let's get back to good old Bitcoin. Wow, current price 10,507. So we were just talking about it. We may have a little dip, but I was like, on your 45, your 30-minute, your short-term time frames, you were screaming for a possible, like a bounce was imminent. You can see it from here. Wow, no, I'm sorry, that's your daily. But if we go back here to the 45-minute, it's very clear. See it right in here. I guess it's not gonna let me pull it. You can check your 30-minute. Looks even nicer. And once again, we only had that reaction to the downside from this blob right here. But honestly, we still haven't. You wanna really judge it to your anchor point. This is short-term price action. This is more of your trend as a whole. And then you can see even here, you had your reaction today from this right here, but overall you're still making a lower low, or a lower high, I guess. And then right here, you see this, like, it's almost, it's like we tried to form a trigger wave like on Market Cypher. Yeah, this is Bitcoin Armacida. Wow, did we really, where did that wick go up to? 10,015? Okay, or 515. You can see these nice cluster of touch points down here, right all about in the same area. So, we're looking good. Like I said, I know we were looking a little bearish there from the dip, but all of the lower time frames. Obviously, our higher time frames were still bullish. You can see how we even rounded up and made our next high. And then on top of that, you have your bullish continuation right in through here. Your daily, yeah, I mean, it's really shocking how Market Cipher isn't showing this. Like, there's a huge discrepancy right now in the MACD and the blue wave. It really is. It's kind of starting to freak me out a little bit. That's why we're looking at the MACD right now, our standard indicator. This is on any exchange. But man, the daily looks very nice. The key thing here is we really want to build towards this blob back here. We really do. Really, I mean, and it kind of fits in with how close we are to our 10-9-11,000, because not only are we going to be at the top of our, our descending line, but if we could form something like this at major resistance, oh buddy, that'd be amazing short. I mean, it would be amazing. You can see here, this is our descending line. Look how close we're getting. We start creeping up near this line, our descending line right now, which is going to be our eventual descending triangle, and you start seeing this, something like this on the MACD, that is your indicator to short. So let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. We're just planning for the future, so when it comes up, you're prepared. You don't want emotion, because when things are tanking or we're pumping, a lot of times emotion can overtake common sense in a lot of ways, and the things that you've learned. That's why I say, trading is 20% technical and 80% psychological. You have to curb the FOMO and control the greed. It's so important in this game. Cryptocurrency trading in general, it's all the game, and the winners are the people that can stick around the longest. So this is looking very nice. Today's Wednesday. Hey, DI, thank you for the subscription on YouTube. All right. So I'm pretty excited though. NFL season, I believe, starts tomorrow. I think it's the Green Bay Packers and the Bears. You can obviously tell if you're new to the channel, I'm a huge Chiefs fan. No disrespect if you're a Raiders or Chargers fan, because I love the NFL as a whole. So, but we're also gonna add some sports betting to the site to add some entertainment. So that'll be fun. I've never actually used the Tron Bet Sportsbook yet, so we're gonna find out together. I'm transferring some funds to Binance, so I can buy Tron here in the next couple days, just for so I can use the betting platform. It's the Wink token that's on Binance right now. That's what Tron Bet used to be, if you're not familiar with them. No, I'm not in a trade right now. I mean, I'm always holding Bitcoin. With Bybit, you don't have a decision to make. Like, there's no safe haven, if that makes sense. But I'm always holding Bitcoin. So, I mean, and honestly, especially with my longer account, or my long account, it's much bigger than our streamers account. So, especially on movement like this, I still make decent gains without leverage. So, this is just our streamers account, so we have something to play with. So, man, we've done $942 million in contracts. Wow. So that's about $942 million has gone through Bybit. That's why I don't understand the BitMEX guys, like when they talk crap on Bybit. They're just like, oh, there's no liquidity. It's like, we're averaging at least 700 to 800 million a day. I mean, there's days, especially when Bitcoin's really moving up or down, we'll be in the billions, like 1.2 billion, 1.1 billion. It's so nice. I swear, Bitcoin always catches me when I leave the screen. Like, if I start looking at altcoins, Let's see what our 5 minutes showing. Our 5-minute scalper tool. Yep, alright. Dang, I wish I would have caught this. I was looking at gold. But you can see here though, we popped our buy signal at 10,440. We actually didn't confirm it until about 10,460, 450. It's this red line. It's just been nailing the calls though today. This was one of the more smaller ones. But this was probably, was this the reaction? Yeah, this is after we were consolidating here. I generally don't use the scalper when we're consolidating in like $100 tight range. Because even if you're right 2 out of 3 times, usually on that last trade, unless you have a very tight stop loss, you'll lose more than what you make. When you're in a very tight consolidation area, like I'm talking like $100, $50. And honestly, that's just kind of hard to trade with. Even when we're scalping, I really like to be in at least $150, $200 liquid, you know, up and down movement price action with Bitcoin. Yeah, we had a nice short earlier this morning with our aggro cap. Dang. Oh yeah, that reminds me, I'm gonna go get a mouse today too. I'm going to the city today, so you can see we had a nice short right up here at about 10,520. Went all the way down to 10,380. All right. See how we look on our 30-minute MACD now. We're going to be really checking our shorter time frames because we still are bullish on our long time frames. So if your shorter ones are coinciding with your longer ones, you're going to be just that. You're going to have that much higher chance of successful trades. You can see here. This is what we've been talking about. It was looking like we may, I mean, the dip could maybe continue, but we were just talking, I mean, literally right before this popped. Very nice divergence through this. I like it a lot. 15. And you can see here on our latest 15-minute wave, this is the one we actually just started popping up. We've actually made a higher high than our last wave. So the next one we have to worry about is this one. We can outpace this or get close to it. I think we'll have a nice little jump on our hands. But the MACD is so accurate. I mean, you can see here when you made your lower high in bullish momentum, you fell to the side or you fell to the downside. Then on the other side, not only did you show a lower level from this, but if you take your, I'll take my brush out, if you look at this right in here, wow, it's really going to break that up. But if you look right in here, it usually does it. Let's see here. Right in there. You also got your confirmation with this when you made your lower high inside your same blob, and with this as well. So you made a lower high in bearish momentum, and even in your second wave itself you made a lower high. So that was the confirmation for this upside here. Then once again, that's why I really try to, you know, preach to you guys, and I try to, you know, show you how the MACD works, because it's so important, especially if you're trying to learn scalp trading, you know, which is what I do for a living. But you can see here, you showed your lower level of bullish momentum, you popped to the downside. You had your reaction to the downside because you made a higher high from this, but overall, you're still looking at a lower high. And just like over here, you showed a lower high in itself. You can see right in here. And now. That's why. I'm just trying to explain why you're seeing these blobs go from one side to the other. How divergences work on the bull and bear side. And I hope that made sense. So we're dropping a little bit now. We're at 10,490. Man, time flies with you guys. We've been live for almost an hour and a half already. So, but fingers crossed. I'm hoping we're going to have our website fully launched tonight. Worst case, it'll be finished tonight. I need to send it to Jubbin on Discord. I want to see if there's anything he can critique, you know, or some constructive criticism. You know, because it is my first website I've ever built. So that should hopefully be released tonight. Worst case, it'll be finished tonight and released first thing tomorrow morning. Let's just take a look at it. I want to see just where the XRP's at. Alright, so we've made it into our red box. Let's get our indicator off. I'm not personally touching XRP. But man, what up? I mean, what's happened to it? I mean, we're holding a little bit of support here at about 25 and a half cents, but man, where are we at for the year? Oh, I guess we don't even get that. But even if we use our price range tool, just from the beginning of July, XRP's down 51% since July. That's insane. And just because I know this from the other exchanges that have more data, generally when you break under the 36 to 38 cent support, it generally takes at least 3 to 6 months to break back above this. We've been officially under, I guess we even broke it here. Let's see, when did we break this? 37. So we've been under it for about 2 months now, that we've been under 36 cents. So this area right in here, on the other exchanges, I mean, there's so much data that goes back. It generally takes 3 to 6 months to get back above 36 cents. It's at 36, 38 cent, because this was support. If we actually go to a different exchange, like let's go look at Binance. Yeah, Bitcoin's getting a nice little move up now. Current price is 10,523. This is the box, guys. Well, I guess that's a 28 cent box. Let's see if we can go to our daily here. Get as much information as we can. So let's get our horizontal tool out. We're just going to draw the bottom of this trend line. And then this would be red. You can see here, I mean, we've barely popped above it. So you broke down. I'm not going to count this because it was so, this was very quick. And you know, about the beginning of this year. But but you really broke under it in about October of last year, and you didn't really break and hold above 36 cents until about May. So you went from October to May to not being able to get above 36 cents. And we officially broke it in what would be July. So we've had July, August. So we've been about 2 months now. So we're still early on XRP here. The problem with XRP is the buying pressure is just terrible. You're showing a nice divergence here on the daily. This is very nice, but I mean, look at the reaction we're getting off of this. I mean, we are starting to build the second wave, but it's terrible. I don't know what's happened to it, if there's been some news. I don't personally trade XRP too much, but I know we get a lot of requests for it. It's not looking so hot. Yeah. Yeah, all the time frames are bullish right now. And I'm gonna, like I said, if you just popped in, today the V1 5-minute and the V2 1-minute, since they all are our scalping indicators, I'm gonna complete that today. It's just easier to separate them, so the information is easy to find, and you're not watching an 1.5-hour tutorial combining all the indicators. So that will be released today, and then after that, I'm going to start on our individual indicators. Like, I'll start out with MACD, because that's very important. I'll remake my Fibonacci retracement. So I'm going to finish that tutorial today. I have to work on my website so that can get launched. Like I said, it should be done by tonight. I'm going to get some editing done. I'm going to have Jebin help me with that. So I got quite a bit on my plate today. But I'm trying to get especially the website done, so I can start actively trading more. But there is some pretty decent support at about 10,350, 10,004, that area down there. Because if we put our moving averages on, you know, as we looked before, see here, we had a nice bounce off of our 13 moving average. This is your EMA 13 on the 4-hour. If you're looking at moving averages, you want to look at your higher time frames, like your daily, your 4-hour, and then I will peek at the 1-hour every now and then. But this is what we were talking about. The MACD was pointing bullish, and then look at this, guys. You have your 13 and your 100. We're about to bullishly converge. This is very nice. We had all the elements to have a pump here. Hopefully we go a little, higher than what we are now. But it's still early. It just started. Because XRP, yeah, that's true. I mean, I don't have a strong opinion about XRP. It's just another cryptocurrency, but I don't know what the hell's wrong with it. Like, is someone, like, is there like an insider just dumping it to the ground? I mean, did they have bad news? Did a bank say they'll never use it? Like, what happened? I don't follow XRP, so, I mean, I just look at it from a charting perspective, but even its brother XLM, Stellar Lumens, it's been doing terrible. Like, the actual banking cryptos have done terrible the last few months. XLM, Stellar Lumens, XRP, Ripple. I don't know if there's actually any other banking cryptos, but they've just really struggled the last few months. Alright, we're getting a nice little jump here, guys. 10,550. I swear, every time I leave Bitcoin and I go to peek at something, we were literally on gold. We were talking about the bullish divergence on the short time frames. I go to peek at gold real fast and pop, it went up $100 like quick. How you doing, Mad Money Mike 1? Some of the glare. Getting a nice little pump here on Bybit. You can see here though, this is a very nice reaction that we got off of it. And if we actually look at our V1 5-minute, called it beautifully. You popped your short, or I'm sorry, you popped your long at 10,440. We didn't confirm until about 10,460. And so, okay, so you've popped long on this. This is part of what I described on the 3-hour because it's very similar. You would go to your higher or your slightly higher time frames. I don't like looking at the MACD from a 5-minute perspective. You would go here to your 15-minute. You would see we made a lower wave of bearish momentum in itself. Your overall price action to the downside was a result from this. You made a higher high, but overall, you still, from your more anchor wave, you still made a lower low or a lower high. So you go to your 15-minute, you go to your 30-minute. So let's say it did it break. There you go. And this is where it starts looking a lot nicer. Showing a nice bullish divergence there. Go to our 45-minute, you're showing it even more. So very interesting stuff. We're above our EMA 13 on our 4-hour time scale. And if you look here, if you go from the middle, so if you go from the middle of this wave right up here, where you're like, all right, we're rounding this off, it's about to be over, that wave, look where your price action was. Right in there. If you follow the dotted line straight up, this is where it would be at. So don't just jump on a buy signal on any indicator. Let your technical analysis confirm your signal. So we had our MACD confirming it, confirming our scalper tool. You have your EMA right now. You're sitting above nice support on your EMA 13. That's another thing confirming your signal. So if you can get indicators to confirm each other and they're all basically agreeing with each other, your chances of success are that much higher. You know, technical analysis isn't a crystal ball, but it's the best luck, it's the best chance you're going to have at success predicting future price movement. Catching the stream at work. Yeah, Gabe. Yeah, we looked at it earlier. They're pretty much the same right now. The long and shorts are basically right. I don't know why I just did that. They're basically the same right now. Ah, man, this stupid thing is getting on my nerves. Come on. Bitfinex. Alright. So we got our shorts. We're going to look at our shorts first. You can see on the 4-hour. Let's get off this MACD. We don't need it. You can see here on the 4-hour, you had a bullish engulfing candle. Is actually today. This is probably the dip we had this morning. Because, you know, the shorts are rising, the price will get suppressed. We go to our 1-hour. See, we're having a little dip. Let's go to our shorter time frames. You can see here, we're still maintaining though. The shorts are not dipping too much, especially on this bounce. If we go to our longs, start out with our 4 hour, and you can see here, but we're butted up right against this resistance line. I never really started using technical analysis like support and resistances for the long and short chart, but there are correlations. It's pretty scary. But more so, you know, since about, you know, April, May of this year, you can see every time we hit this line, we seem to get rejected. And you can look, we touched it, went back down, and now we're literally butted up right against it right now. So this is our 4 hour. We go to our 1 hour. You know, it's still showing the same thing. It's really holding our head down. We really need to break above this. That would be nice to see. So they're pretty even right now. If you look at this pattern, we'll keep this up. This is the 30-minute on the longs, and this is the shorts. Don't they look pretty familiar? They're pretty much identical. And another thing we'll go and check. Let's go check our coin farm. Man, I have to say the CPU, maxing out my CPU is definitely working better, but I have to say, like, my keyboard is literally hot. Like, I can feel it, like, under the keys. Like, there's heat coming out from under my keyboard right now. There's not really a way to, like, I don't know how to gauge if it's, like, dangerously hot, but I've never actually felt my keyboard being warm. But I have my CPU maxed out at 100%, so we didn't have the issues from last night. But it's crazy, like you can actually, even next to your fan, like you can actually feel the heat coming off of it. Which you know, on a, you know, before I maxed it out, honestly, you couldn't, it's a really quiet computer. You still can't hear the fan, but you never felt heat. Going on. All right, I'm just gonna get out of this. Maybe that's and that's another thing. For some reason, all like using Brave browser is easy on the computer, but the moment I pull up YouTube, my CPU usage goes through the roof. So if you want to check this, guys, you can go on Discord. I'm just going to read it off to you. I don't want to have what happened yesterday and my computer locks up. But if you go to our long and short section on our Discord, you can actually see this. Checking it out now. Short, so it's under our short and long information. If you haven't joined our Discord, I highly recommend you check it out. Alright, so we're looking at 48.68 long, 51% short. Yeah. Alright, man. I wish I wasn't looking at stupid gold. I swear. We'll be looking at divergence. We'll be looking at the MACD. It'll be it'll be like, hey, this is a, we're looking like we're going to reverse price action. I'll go and look at an altcoin request or something, and then boom, it just pops. It literally popped $100 quick the moment I started looking at gold. So for the, for my listeners or community members that take CBD, like you take it like, orally or whatever you take it, like ingesting it, how much CBD are you supposed to take? Because like I drink about 3 cups of coffee of this new CBD coffee, and I'm only taking about 20 or 30 milligrams of it. It's not like overly sedating, but it feels very similar to like melatonin. I just picked it up yesterday, but I noticed yesterday, like, it was hard staying awake. I just don't know what the average, like, milligram or what you're supposed to take. Because she thought it would work a lot better for my knee pain than Kratom, which they both work actually pretty well, but I'm not a huge fan of the sedating effects first thing in the morning. So we're going to look at our closer time frames here. And what we're going to do is I'm going to remove this. I really want to see if Market Cipher, what's going on with it. It really is a little bit worrisome. See, you can see it here. Like, do you see what's going on for everyone here that owns Market Cipher? Like, is there a glitch in it? Like, is there something? I've never seen this before. I mean, they're polar opposites from the MACD right now. If you look at this, remember this wave. Alright, keep this in your mind right now. We're gonna go, because the blue wave is pretty much your MACD. Look at this. Do you see that? It's the same time frame and everything. It's complete opposite. They don't look anything the same. But you can see here you're actually showing bullish down here. On this one, you're screaming bearish. I mean, they're polar opposites. And like this Market Cipher, if you look at it, this is B. This would have been impossible to catch the dip. If you look at this, this is not screaming a buy in any way, shape, or form. This is on the daily. If you go to your daily MACD, look at this. You were screaming buy. Are any of you guys seeing this? Is it just me? Do I need to like maybe update? Yeah, 10 milligram is good. Yeah, I think I'm averaging between 20 or 30 milligrams, but there's supposed to be roughly about 10 milligrams in each cup of coffee. But this is very concerning for me, guys. If you guys have Market Cipher, especially if you're by a computer, if you could see, like, if you're showing the same thing, or maybe there's like a glitch on my end. But, I mean, look at this. This is your daily. This is your daily on your MACD. We'll go to the 1 hour. Alright, let's use one that's a little more defined. You can see here on your 3 hour, you showed a much lower level, and it looks like we're maybe getting close to rounding this off. I want to see how well it keeps growing. If you go to your 3 hour on Market Cipher, do you see this? Like, they're not even correlating close to each other right now. Yeah, definitely. Hey, Paul, are you on Discord? I was about to say, if you could direct message me on Discord, I would definitely be interested. Yeah. But you can see this on the MACD. You're screaming a divergence here, a bullish divergence. But Market Cipher B it's not. You see this? Like, you haven't even popped down here yet. If you go to your 15 minute, you're actually showing more bearish momentum building. You Go to your 15-minute on Market Cipher B. You're showing literally the exact opposite. I've never seen the MACD and the blue wave be this uncorrelated with each other. They're usually at least close to each other, but now they're not. It's very strange. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Paul. I don't know. It's something we're going to look at, but for right now, I'm not going to use Market Cipher until it, maybe gets corrected. We're still building. You can see this actually just grew right. I don't know if you just saw this pop up. So what do you guys think, chat? Yeah, Ken, it's... Yeah, Gabe, I'm doing a tutorial. I'm finishing the other one today. The V1 5-minute and V2 1-minute. I mean, because I try to go over, I look at the MACD and then we look at the price action. It's pretty much what the tutorial will be. I mean, I try to go over it on our streams, but like you can see like right here. So you can see here, and you even made it double one here. You made another smaller wave right here. But you can see here, if you go from your anchor point to where your wave was much smaller, look where we took off. Another one would be this right here. Do you see how you had your much larger wave of bearish momentum and then you made a much smaller one? If you follow the dot point up from that smaller wave in the middle, where are you at? You're right here. You would be right in here. Another one could be right in here. You can see how you showed a lower level of bearish momentum. If you look at your indicator, you would be down there. Let's see if I can find another one. This is basically what the tutorial is going to be about, but more in depth. Alright, here's another one. You have your big wave here and a much smaller wave. If we zoom in here, do you see how you have a giant wave here and then you made a much smaller one? If you look at your price action and we go up, you can see here your buy target would have been right up in the middle of that, so it would have been right in here. Let's see if I can find another one. And like even on the downside, alright? Let's say you wanted to find drops in price action. See how you have this really big tall wave of bullish momentum and then you made a much smaller one? If you follow the dot up, look where you're at. You're right in here. Right at the top. Another one. Right in here. Right at the top of this. If you look at your price action, you'd have been right up here when you noticed that you were making a lower high. Whoops. Here's another one. You made a high. Look at, whoa. You see how you have your high and then you made a much lower high? This would be a bearish divergence. Look at your price action. Right when you noticed you were making your top, it was right in here before you inevitably fell quite a bit. And then you could honestly use this trigger wave not trigger wave. You could also use this wave for this one over here. I'll make this a little bigger. Do you see this right here? You have your big wave and you have a much smaller one. If you look at your price action, where were you at? You were right up in here. But this is what the tutorial is going to be about, is how to read bullish and bearish momentum for a trade setup. Now here's another one. You made a high, you made a much lower high. You would have thrown your sell right in there, right at the top, right when you noticed we were rounding this off, somewhere in here, before you really started, you know, rounding it off. You know, here's another one right here. You showed your high, you showed a much lower high. You had a little bit of a sell-off. We're on the 1 hour, so they're not going to look as drastic. But if you see here, oh, I guess I'm zoomed in a little bit too much. Yeah, this one wasn't as big. But once again, even if you pull this out, this one's not as great as what the other ones are. But you can see here, you made a high, a lower high, and a lower high right in here. And then look at the drop we had. Right in here on your third lower high. But these are, you know, once you learn it, it's super easy to spot. Dang it, I don't know why this keeps doing it to me. But this is really how you read divergences. I mean, you probably got a little play off this, but your more major play, I'm guessing, would be right in here on this one. And what do you know? You made your top right in here. You inevitably fell. Does that make sense? No, I don't pay too much attention to those. The lines or whatever, I don't pay too much attention to them. Granted, yes, they do generally follow the momentum though. You can kind of see up here how you converged. You went down a little bit. You went right back up. It kind of helps you with your momentum. But no, I really just pay attention to the waves more. But yes, they do have significance. Like you can see over here, you see how you had your cross and you were showing lower levels of momentum. This was like, hey, it's about to happen. Another one could be, all right, here's one. Yes, they do have significance, but I pay more attention to the blue wave. So you can see here, you rounded it off, right? And the same blob itself, you made a lower high, right in here. Well, what was your other signal? Right as you started rounding this off, you also had your cross right in here. And you can tell right when you crossed over actually to the bull side. And then once again, you can pull this over to the right. And what do you see? It should be sticking out. More so, you can even do it from here. You have your high, you have a much lower high, and then what do you know? You had your cross right in here before you went to the, you know, you started building on the bear side. This one isn't as great. You can see here you were pretty flat on your momentum here. And a good way to gauge is like, all right, well, how are the lines looking? Well, when you pull out, you can see we're pretty flat, but then you had your bullish cross right in through here. And then once again, here's our more short-term one. This is the one we had this morning. You had your much lower high, right? You start rounding it off, you're rounding it, and then guess what? Boom, you have your bearish cross right in here. Ken, does this work on every time frame? When you're using the MACD, you can do what you want, but the higher time frames always take hold. So when I use the MACD, I only use it on the daily, the 4 hour, and the 1 hour. Those are the only three time frames that I use on the MACD. So your daily, your 4 hour, and your 1 hour. It's what my mentor taught me. When you're looking at momentum, you don't want to find, if you're in a bearish pattern, it really doesn't matter what momentum you're showing on the 15-minute. It's just pointless. Use your higher time frames when you're looking at momentum. The more data you have to be feeding the momentum data that's popping out, the better your call is going to be. And I hope that made sense. But yes, it does make sense. It's just a it's kind of a confirmation. You can help confirm your own signal here. So you see, like right here's a good one. You showed a much lower level in bearish momentum. And then what do you know, right in here, we circled it. This was your indicator like, hey, it's about to happen. You crossed to the downside, you went down. You know, like right in here, you had your lower level of bearish momentum. As you start rounding it off right before you pop to the upside, guess what? Boom, you got your cross. You know, you can see it here as well. You showed your lower level of bearish momentum. You got your cross right in here. Boom, back to the upside. You know, and here's another one. You showed a lower level of bearish momentum right in through here. Or I'm sorry, a bullish momentum. You showed lower level of bullish momentum. You're starting to round it off. Well, when is it about to happen? Well, it happens here right as you cross to the downside. If you go up here, look where you're at. Boom. So you had a little bit of a fake out here. You can see how we showed a lower high. Then we had one little small push, but you still made, you see this third high right here? See how small it is? And then what do you know? You had your cross right in here. And then you even had a quadruple confirmation. You have a wave right in here as well. And what do you know? What do you see there? You see another cross. So yes, they do have meaning. It's just basically a way to help confirm you the timing. Your MACD points you in your direction like your blobs, but the line's kind of like, hey, it's about to happen. And I hope that made sense, but like I said, even if you didn't catch on to everything, I'm gonna have a tutorial video on this, so, and you will be able to replay it and listen to it as much as you need. Alright, so our long and shorts chart, we're still about the same. We're 48.6 long and 51.5 short. Or 51.4. So we have a lot of firepower behind us if we really wanted to pop. But yeah, I'll see if I can get a hold of Crypto Face or something today. It really is kind of concerning how, I mean, seriously, it's a drastic difference between your MACD and your blue wave market cipher B. I mean, it's a crazy difference. I mean, there's literally no similarities whatsoever, and that's never happened. They always look pretty similar, but the blue wave, it helps you kind of catch the reversals better. But I don't know what's going on, but it really screwed us with this dip a little bit, because it just wasn't there. You know, on this latest dip, the MACD was screaming like we're about to go up, but market cipher B, I don't know what's going on. And just to show you guys one last time, you can see on this dip here, there was no indication that we would be going to the upside from this. As you know, just like as we showed from our, you know, what we just talked about, you not only from your other wave, you showed a much lower level or a much higher level of bearish momentum, but even this, your wave itself, you were building like, and your money flow is even thick in the red right now. But if you look at your MACD on the daily, do you guys see what I'm talking about? I mean, it is night and day difference. Like, they're polar opposites. I've never seen this before. But you can see here, if you look at your regular MACD, it's a clear. I mean, you could even use it from this, but so interesting stuff. Oh, man. So we're pretty much right back to where we were last night. We're in the high fives, almost 10,600. Oh, man. Let's see, because I'm starting to get a little bit hungry. Let's see here. What time frame? Oh, okay, that's one I just answered. So, once you can confirm your trading environment, Ken, with your daily 4-hour and 1-hour, then I like to go between my 15 and my 45 minute. If you can get those to coincide with each other and agree with each other, you're going to have a high level of success. But I generally don't like betting on my lower time frames when they're different from my higher time frames, if that makes sense. So like here on the 4-hour, you can see we are building momentum here. Let's see here. There you go. Then if we go to our daily, you know, this is the one we just looked at. You're looking great on the daily. You look at your 1-hour. Your 1-hour is the only one that needs a little bit of work. We're pretty neutral. Our tops are flat. But then you can see here, once you get to your 30-minute, this is where we were talking about screaming buy. And then what do you know, guys? We literally just looked at this. You see your bullish divergence here, and then what? What do you see? You have your cross right here, right before you go to the upside. So this is like really good at confirming when it's about to happen. You showed it here. See, you showed a lower level here, and then your lines are like, and then they just kept. You see, there was no cross. They got real close, and then they just rejected each other. Well, this time, there was no rejection. And we actually did pop to the upside. So really use those lines for, you know, it's like, hey, it's about to happen. It's just a way to confirm its own indicator. It confirms the blue waves or the MACD wave, whatever you want to call it. They're red on this one. All right, so we've been live for about 2 hours now. So this should hopefully be the last day. Like I said, my website should hopefully be launched tonight. But I got to work on my website. I have those 2 tutorial videos. So the V1 5-minute and the V2 1-minute that will be released today. It's going to be a little in depth, so it's probably going to be about 30 minutes long. Because scalp trading is it's a lot more difficult than just buying for the giant swings, you know, like what our 3-hour does. So that video will be out. I'll even I'll even add that MACD one in as a second educational video. So I'm going to get those 2 done today. My website should be done tonight. Worst case, it'll be done tonight and launched tomorrow. And then we have another live stream tonight that will go for another 2-3 hours at least. Hopefully we get some price action so we can get some live trading in, not just analysis. but probably about to make some breakfast here soon. Is there any coins or stocks, or is there anything that I haven't looked at for you guys? You know, the morning cup of coffee streams are pretty just chill. We do an overview of the day. We kind of missed that volatility because I was looking at stupid gold, but I have a lot to do today, so this is really the last day that I have to dedicate to this website. And those, you know, I'm always going to do those static videos and stuff, but so if you're looking for resistance here on Bitcoin, if you're looking at resistance here, because we still are showing, we're still looking bullish. There's going to be some pretty decent resistance here around 10,008. 10,008 is our next major resistance, and also more short term is 10.6. But if we can break above 10.6, our next major area is going to be about 10,800, that 10.8 to 10.9 mark. Just know, if we're going to obey this descending triangle line, the top trend line, we are going to have to break. We're really going to have to break above 11,300. Because we really would invalidate this trading pattern, and I will get extremely bullish if we can outpace and we can go farther than 10. We can break 12,004. That's really when the bullish fun's going to begin. In my opinion, if we break above 12,400, I believe we're going to test the highs of the year, maybe even break it. But until then, we need to make a higher high. And until that happens, yes, we can still be bullish, but more long term, we'll be just looking at this going back up, making a lower high, back down. Going back up, making a lower high, going back down. Yeah, Ken, that's another thing I talk about on all my streams. When closing a trade, I use support resistances. So, you know, like, so if you short, I would be trying to cover around so if you're shorting, I would cover just before you get to your support line, so you make sure you get filled. So you can see the support line that we had drawn out when the stream started, we had to bounce right off of it. So if you shorted up here, I would probably put my order $20, $30, $40, maybe $50 higher than support, so you know you get filled. Let's see if we can find any other. But so like if you're longing, I would be looking to cover before resistance. If you're shorting, I would be looking to take profit before you get to your support level. So it's vice versa. You're shorting, you cover before support. If you're longing, you cover or you take profit before resistance. Don't use percentages as a way to gauge when to take profit. If you do that, you could be up 9.5%. You're like, all right, I'm taking profit at 10. Well, is it worth it not going up to 10% and you don't take profit, and then you go back to neutral, or you're you know, maybe even in the red? You know, it's not worth losing out on 9% because you're trying to squeeze out half of 1%. Money flow is decreasing on the 45-minute. Damn, my computer's getting insanely hot right now. So we're probably just going to be ping-ponging guys in this area. Until some volume comes in, we're going to really be between 10.5 and 10,650. That's really going to be the range until we get some more volume. As we looked, you know, before we call it a stream, and I will be on Discord all day. I need to start devoting more time to trading, so I need to get this website done. And I still have those 2 static videos, and we're gonna go live. You know, at least 2 to 3 hours tonight. There's just not enough hours in the day. But if we go to our Bitfinex chart, we look at our short, or we look at our longs, you can see here, they're very identical. And we're butted up against this resistance level. I mean, we are right up against it. And then if you look at your shorts, well, you can see how identical they are. I mean, they're literally the same. So that's your short chart. This is your long chart. They're literally the same. So I'm gonna go get some breakfast because I am starving. If Bitcoin goes crazy, we'll hop on live even earlier. We're gonna go live at 8 p.m. Eastern time, so 7 o'clock. We'll stream till about 10 o'clock or a little bit later. So we'll get a total of 5-6 hours streaming in today. We're already live over 2 hours now. But I need to start devoting more time to you guys and live trading. And I can't do that until I get this website done. And like I said, I have those 2 static videos. Those are at least going to take me, I know the V1 5 minute and the V2 1 minute, that tutorial video is going to take me at least an hour to make. Because scalp trading just has a lot more in depth. You know, it's more in depth trading. There's more to it than just, you know, holding for a $400 or $500. Because we're going to look at it from a MACD perspective. It's going to be very, very similar to how our video was last night. Gosh dang it, Bitcoin's mooning right now. I am starving. I guess we're not really mooning, we're just going up. Because I pretty much woke up this morning and went immediately live. Bitcoin. But that's the good thing about this market. You know, I'll be on Discord all day while I make those videos. And if for some reason we start really getting some momentum, we'll go live much earlier. But 8 p.m. Eastern time is when we'll hop back on if nothing happens. We're really going to be in this 10.5, 10.7 area, this $200 trading range. We're going to be stuck in. And until we can get some buy volume or sell volume, I don't really see anything changing from that. So you're going to have resistance at about 10,800. And you can see this is where the tops I was talking about. This is about 10.7. You can see we wicked right off this line, which is 10,800. So 10,800 is our next major resistance. We should really honestly start getting some buys coming in once we break above 10.7. It's kind of been our, I don't want to call it resistance, but it's been kind of like where we start running out of energy. So 10,800 is our next resistance. 10,005, you know, it's our next, you know, short-term support level. If I wanted to get our horizontal tool, it would be about right in here. And you can see what it encompasses. You have these touch points here. You have the touch point here. You have 3 touch points here. This is 10,500. This is our short-term support. After that, we'll be looking at about 10,350. So 10,005 is our short-term support. 10,350 is, you know, our next support after that. And then after that, of course, we'll go into our major box. Hopefully we don't touch it. But that's from about 9,800 to about 10,000. So 10,008's resistance, 10,005 is our short-term support. After that is about 10,350 with your major support between 9.8 and 10,000. So like I said, if we start catching some buys, or sells, you know, we start going down, we break that 10.5, that 10.7 range, or I'm sorry, the 10.8 really, because we're really just going to be ping-ponging in this area, guys, until someone takes a hold of this market. But I have a lot of work I need to get done today. This should hopefully be the last day I have to work on the website. So fingers crossed that goes smooth. But the good thing is after this is finished today, we'll be able to get some more in-depth live trading, you know, starting tomorrow. So I think so, but that's really the plan. You know, I'm going to be at home today. So I'll be posting charts. I'll be there to answer your guys' questions. And like I said, if we start catching some volume, we will hop on live early. But if if I don't tell you guys otherwise, we will be live at 8 p.m. Eastern time, and we will stream for about another 3 hours. So, and that'll give us about 5.5, 6 hours streaming today total. I really try to average about 5-6 hours a day, even with the busy schedule that I have right now. So, thank you guys. I will be on Discord. Fingers crossed this all goes smooth. And honestly, my computer needs to cool down. It's insanely hot right now. But I will see you on the Discord. And, in case, unless Bitcoin doesn't get volatile and we just stay in this tight trading range, I'll be on Discord. But I'll see you at 8 p.m. Eastern time. So 7 o'clock my time. Thank you. Gonna freeze up. I think she's gonna lock up. Dang, she made it all the way to the end.